So let me get this straight then. I'm going for a 6-week journey all the way across the fucking Carpathian Mountains out to Romania, to a place in Transylvania, to meet some eccentric count who's going to buy up a property right by me, back in my hometown, opposite my missus, only fancies there. Are you fucking kidding me? You fucking have the laugh or what, like? Oh, promotion. Lots of money. Okay, fine. I'm on the way. Hey folks, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man at your undead ferrying services. How are you all? We're all doing very, very well. Nosferatu. One of the biggest touted movies for the last couple of years. If you're into your movies, and especially your horror movies, which we all are, of course. A film by Robert Eggers. Robert Eggers. Oh, God. Yes. The Witch. Or The Witch, depending on how I'm going to say it. The Lighthouse. Oh. The Northman. Wow. And then Nosferatu. A dream project for him. As a young kid, he did a stage production. He did cine movies. Home video movies with his mate and his brother, I think. And they actually got pretty well recognised. And it got him into film studies and everything because of what he did, because of his love of the film Nosferatu and his love of Bram Stoker's novel Dracula, of course. And Nosferatu being the bastardised, uncopyrighted version of Dracula. I will not go into all the backstory of how Nosferatu, F.W. Murnau's version, 1922, came about, and how it was almost destroyed and eradicated by Bram Stoker's widow. But, because I've covered it a million times before, but let's just talk about, alarmingly, the movie now. The movie which me and many of you guys and my son as well as a massive Robert Eggers devotee. It came out in America on Christmas Day. Christmas Day? A vampire movie on Christmas Day? What was that about? And then we didn't get it in the UK. First of all, it was touted as being the 3rd of January 2025. But it actually got kind of revamped. Do you see what it did there? Got revamped, brought back to January the 1st, New Year's Day. So me and my son went to see it New Year's Day. The first showing, a morning showing. Innumerable fucking trailers, and also a dead pixel on the digi screen. A blue dead pixel. Damn them to hell and back, I say. And distracting? No? Yeah, just a little bit. But we watched it, and it was quite reasonably busy for a New Year's Day early morning showing. It was kind of busy. Now, Nosferatu from Robert Eggers had been critique reviewed months beforehand. Months, I tell you. It was at various festivals and what have you, and loads of critics had said, oh, it's rhapsodic, it's the most beautiful horror movie ever made, it's bloodthirsty, it's terrifying, my God, this is a masterpiece. Wow, yeah, great. Loving all those words so far. And then various other people that you kind of respect, kind of, they're on YouTube, so maybe you don't respect them that much, but they started seeing it, and people on various forums were allowed to see it, and they're all going like, yeah, this is great, wow, it's going to blow your mind, it's sinister, it's dark, it's bloodthirsty, it's so brooding and melancholic, it's wow, it's what you want, it's gothic splendor, writ large, for us in the 21st century. Well, hard on, fucking Count Hard On was here. I need to see this. Then I saw it. I'm a massive devotee of Murnau's 1922 classic. And I love Werner Herzog's 1978 classic with Klaus Kinski playing Count Orlock. And I love Willem Dafoe. Who doesn't love Willem Dafoe? Playing Max Schreck, the actor, playing Count Graf Orlock in the 1922 version of Nosferatu. In the film Shadow of the Vampire, where he plays Max Schreck, the actor, but he's actually a real vampire, and he's chowing down on the cast and crew during the production of the film Nosferatu. And I've reviewed that. I've talked about Nosferatu a hell of a lot on the channel. You guys know this. Regular viewers know I was a huge player. I bigged myself up there, something chronic. I was a player in the Kickstarter campaign for getting the fantastic composer Christopher Young's score for the original silent movie Nosferatu, which came out and is now out and available, and you can all get it, and it's outstanding. But I was part of that. So I spent a lot of hours during 2024 on this channel discussing Nosferatu in all its various forms and music wise as well. And now we've seen the movie. Now it was, I say, we saw it on New Year's Day, and we suffered a huge traumatic loss in our family, my beloved dog Roxy. So over Christmas time. So as though I was like, whoa, it's Nosferatu, I've got to get this out to the masses, I've got to review this. It's been reviewed by everybody else in America because it came out Christmas Day. So it's old news to a lot of people. But I weren't in any good place to do so. So now I'm doing it. I'm in a slightly better place because I've been drinking, y'all. And bottoms up. No whiskey, it's the bud. But the bud is the life. So we saw it. Robert Eggers. His lifelong passion was to make this movie. And I do adore anyone who has that kind of passion behind them. He is a great filmmaker. Very brooding, very cinematographically, very visual. That's the word we're looking for. Very visual. And music's always a huge part of it. Action is there, but it's mood, it's menace, it's atmosphere. Who's the best guy for it to do Nosferatu? Well, Robert Eggers. Well, be careful what you wish for, folks. This is a 2 hour and 10 minute long movie, that's including credits. And I will say right here, right now, the first hour, because it's a game of two halves, the first hour is magnificent. In fact, I sat there utterly riveted and transfixed, hypnotized, transported to a bygone time, a gothic time of doomed romance, horror, dread, suspense, unease, really queasy visuals, and what the hell's going to happen next? Shadow play, fantastic. And then you got the second hour. Oh dear. And then it all began to unravel. But anyway, so what is Nosferatu? Right. You guys know what it is. I'm going to do broad brush strokes over this. It's the Dracula story, albeit the names have been changed because of the copyright thing. So Robert Eggers has done the Murnau version, so the names are the same as the Murnau version. Instead of Jonathan Harker, you got Thomas Hutter. Instead of Mina Harker, you have Ellen Hutter. Instead of Dracula, you have Count Graf Orlock. But the plot is essentially the same. It's not England. He doesn't travel from the Carpathian Mountains, from his castle to Whitby and then to London. He doesn't do that. No, he travels to Bisberg, Germany. But what happens is he's a decadent, old, eccentric count living in these amazing mountains. Why would you want to leave there? That's my thing. You've got this fantastic castle. Why the fuck would you want to leave there and go somewhere which is like, because unlike other versions where like, I want to taste life, you know, Gary Oldman for Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula. Kind of a mouthful in it, really. You understand that he's doomed. He's a doomed romantic adventurer. That's what he is. He's not really a monster. Whereas our guy here is a pure monster, and he just wants to like. Well, he's after one thing. It's not even like a great premises in a thriving metropolis. No. He's after one thing. One thing. Lily Rose Depp. Personally, I can't understand it myself. She is just Johnny Depp. And I don't fancy Johnny Depp, but there you go. She is Johnny Depp. Personified again. But so this decadent count wants to move into Visberg. So Herr Knock. In this film, he's pronounced as Herr Knock. It's Knock with a K. It should just be Knock. I don't know why he does this. This is Eggers again. He used the old language of the Dacian or Dacian language, which does not exist and hasn't existed for like, I don't know, 1500 years. And there's no real written down transcript of how it should sound. So, but I'm going to use this. So Nosferatu, Orlock will use that language a few times, and the gypsies will speak with this Dacian or Dacian language. It's bullshit. It has a note of authenticity, but it's still a load of old shite. But anyway, so he wants to move to Visberg, and so Herr Knock or Knock, played by Simon McBurney, who is the absolute Samuel McBurney, who is the standout star of this movie. He is brilliant. He is really giving it everything to this. He's in charge of the solicitors and I don't know, what do you call it, estate agents. So you, Thomas Hutter, you must go out there. It's a 6-week journey. You must go out and get him to sign documents, and he'll come here. And by the way, he's going to be your neighbour, because we're selling him what's it called? Slosh Grunwald, which happens to be right opposite your house, with you and your young wife, Ellen, your young wife who has had nightmares, been plagued by nightmares since she was a child. Here's a new addition to this. It's an expansion of what you kind of see in the original movie. Ellen, played by Lily Rose Depp, his young wife. She, in the start of the movie, has these nightmares. She's a younger girl. Nightmares. And she's lonely. Oh, lonely. So she implores. She gazes to the cosmos and like, please, guardian angel, anybody, the Lord of the cosmos, anyone, send me a friend, send me something, get me out of this horrible fugue that I'm in. Whoa, you've opened up a conduit, a psychic conduit, a corridor to Nosferatu. So he arrives and seduces her in the opening scenes when she was young. His voice comes to her. So there's a bond there, and that's the crux of the matter. She then gets over these, I don't know, sleep traumas, and marries Thomas Hutter, Nicholas Hoult, who's in everything. Nicholas Hoult's fucking in everything these days, and he's really good. He's good in everything, and he played Renfield opposite Nicolas Cage playing Dracula only a couple of years ago. So he knows his stuff. and but he's a rather ineffectual husband. He's not kind of fulfilling. If you look into the background of all this, he's not really fulfilling his husbandly requirements, and she's like lacking. But she's opened this conduit, and then he gets sent to go and see Orlock. Unbeknownst to him, Herr Knock, or Knock in this, is an occult deviant fiend who's already got a pact, a covenant with Orlock. How? I don't know. The film does not tell you. But suddenly he's got this fucking thing with, and you see him cutting himself and nude, candles and all occult symbolism all the way around him. Nosferatu, the original writers and creators of Nosferatu, were heavily into the occult as well. So, you know, so Eggers knows this, which is why it's been brought in. And so Herr Knock, as he's already, this has been instigated. He kind of knows, right? Nosferatu, vampire, Orlock wants this girl, and because that's been preordained somehow through the cosmic fucking nocturnal vampiric airwaves. I don't know, and you won't find out either. But she's married this guy. Well, he works for me. I'm gonna send him out there, and he'll sign all the covenants and deeds so this guy can come over and take this girl, because I'm now enslaved to him, and I will bring lives to the master. Yeah, it's Renfield. Herr Knock in the original Nosferatu is the Renfield character, of course. I know I'm going right the way around things here, but you know, it's the way I do them. So, cheers, y'all. So off trots our hero, very loosely, but Lily Rose death. Ellen's like, no, don't go. I've had a dream, a vision of our marriage, and everybody around us was dead, and like we were. Our wedding vows were committed over the sea of corpses and all this kind of shit. Like, I don't worry, love. I'll be back in 6 to 12 weeks. You know, it's a simple job of signing deeds. I'll be back. Don't you worry about it. So off he trots on his little stallion, right the way across the Carpathians, and encounters perhaps my favourite scene, really. A gypsy village, a little tiny enclave in the lee of the Carpathians, and it doesn't get called the Borgo Pass. Werner Herzog's version of Nosferatu calls him Dracula, and they have the proper names. This is a remake of Murnau's version, so they have the other names. Not Jonathan Harker, it's Thomas Hutter. It's not Mina Harker, it's Ellen Hutter. It's not Dracula, it's Orlock. You know, it's its own thing. So it's not the Borgo Pass. It's just, I don't know. You climb up a mountain and there's a little snowy track with a big, ominous, scary horse carriage coming towards you. But he has this great sequence with a gypsy involvement in a little tiny village. So he comes in there, they take his horse from him, and but they're all accosting him, tons of gyppos, and and we've all been there, and they're all singing and dancing and all fiddle playing. Now we know who plays Nosferatu, Orlock. It's Bill Skarsgård. Now I kind of whispered in my son's ear at the time, so like, that's Bill Skarsgård there? Is that a cameo? The fiddle player there? Now, I don't know if it is. Absolutely nobody else in the world has said so. So I could be massively wrong, but I like to think, you're playing the arch fiend in this movie, but you're playing this little fiddle player as well. Could be. It looks like him. And but it's bizarre, and there's a great line here. There's lots of subtitles, lots of foreign languages, and there's a line when this guy who runs a tavern, who's been taken over by all these gypsies. Oh, Jesus, and he's like, yeah, he says something along the lines of, I thought, like, what the hell does that mean? He went, trying to quiet them all down and leave this visitor alone. And he says, like, the mind of God may bugger you, or may the mind of God bugger you. What the hell does that mean? What in God's once good name does that mean? The mind of God bugger you? Okay, well, where are we going with this? And he tells them he's going to Orlock's castle. They're all like, you can't go there, no, you can't go there, in all different languages and lingos. But I must go there, I have a job to do. I need a signature, and I make a lot of money out of this. And that night, very unrestive sleep, something happens, and he follows the crowd of gypsies out into a little birch area, snowbound, lovely snow coming down, a lovely nude girl riding a horse as well, which, what the hell, it's ritual, these things happen. I don't know, not so much around here these days, but and they uncover a grave, and he watches all this from afar. Nicholas Hoult, Thomas Hutter, and they uncover the grave, and they put a great big fucking piece of steel through its heart, and it vomits up blood and guts. It's still alive. It's a vampire, and like he wakes up again. He's like, oh, was it just a dream? And he looks down at his feet, and his feet are covered in shit and mud from the forest. And we've all been there for certain. But my God, so they believe in all this. That scene is great, folks. I really love that sequence. The torchlight, the gypsy sort of attitude. It's a really otherworldly aspect. It's not so much in original Nosferatu. It is in various versions, albeit very truncated. Like Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula has, they've got gypsy stuff on their faces, and they take this for the dead travel fast and all this, and they're terrified about where our hero is going to end up, because they all know what it's about there. And this sequence, I thought, was really well done. Darkly nasty and mysterious, and left you with loads of questions. The next morning, his muddy feet, they've all gone. Everyone's fucking gone. So he's like, shit, where's my horse? So he then has to make the climb up the mountains, through the snow, to find Castle Orlock. Castle Orlock, which is, did I write this down? Oh, did I write this down? Apparently I didn't. I did. Corvin Castle in Romania. They use the exterior of Corvin Castle, but so what you see when he arrives at Castle Orlock is the genuine Corvin Castle in Romania, actually in the province of Transylvania. It's beautifully iconic and all that, but they didn't film the interiors there, because it's probably all great with multiplex screens and all sorts, and like those are designer bars and what have you, spas and all sorts of stuff going on. But the exterior is really gothic to the extreme. So he climbs up, and he's confronted by the ghostly carriage, which of course is possessed or driven by Orlock himself. And he gets in there, he's pursued by wolves, and that you get like a rather hefty CG around the mountainside with, this, what's it called again? I forgot what it's called. This castle, Corvin Castle. in the background with massive CG, background to it, and off he travels around this, chased by wolves, shades of Keanu Reeves in Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula. Bloody wolves chasing me with some blue inferno. Only Nicholas Hoult is English, so the English dialect, which is quite annoying in this movie, seems perfectly fitting. Doesn't seem wrong coming from his gob. So they arrive there, and you get this Stephen Sommers, almost Van Helsing and the Mummy CG overload, where his carriage, his caleche, is driven across this long bridge to the big gates, and he's summoned in. The gates open and he enters, and the gates shut behind him with a big satanic shadowy and you'll see Orlock in the distance. These scenes are exactly the same as in the original movie. They are exactly the same. And then he'll be introduced to Castle Orlock, and Orlock will use shadow play. Merno, German expressionism, and shadow play was huge. The original movie, is massively renowned for its shadow play, and you get it loads here. Again, Francis Ford Coppola did it enormously with Gary Oldman, and he'd be there and his shadow would move completely independent from him and be all around him and doing whatever. It unlocked doors and things, and this is what happens here as well, and it's really, really good. I like what they do here. They go, and it's Bill Skarsgård. Okay, right, Bill Skarsgård. We'll go on to more of his makeup, his character, the way he plays it, but in the second, I should say, of 3 times that Thomas Hutter is late for things. He's late for his appointment at Herr Knock, to get this job, because he's having snoggy sessions with Lily Rose Depp, and he's you're late, you're 15 minutes late, and he arrives, albeit on foot, after the gypsies have left him and his horse is gone, and at Castle Orlock, and like Orlock says, you are late. It is already turned midnight. The servants have gone. And but follow me anyway. And they go up this spiral stone staircase, and it's a lovely long camera take. We'll talk more about the camera work. But the great thing is that as the camera follows Hutter following Orlock, Orlock's not round the next bend of the staircase, and you can see he's like bewildered, and he comes up to a firelit, huge room, stone buttressed room, a banquet hall, and but he's over there. Hang on, you were right. How did you get? And then you'll get tons and tons of these sequences where the camera will move around Thomas Hutter, and you've got the beast Nosferatu who's right there. The camera will keep on moving, and then suddenly he's on this side or he's across the room. Lots of shadow play across and all this sort of stuff, with taloned fingers and all that. You can see what they've done. All right, you, Nicholas Hoult, sit right there. The camera's going to turn this way, and oh boy, he's going to run round that way and stand behind you, and then we're going to zoom in, and suddenly he's right there on the other side. Yeah, how did it happen? How did they do it? Well, it's smoke and mirrors, folks, and it's just moving around and moving the camera in a certain way, whilst whether it's your real actor or it's a stand-in who's happened to be there in place, doesn't matter though. It's still very, very effective, and it still throws you a bit of a wobbler, but it's coming, and there's another problem. You've seen this all before. You've seen it in the Gary Oldman version, the way that the shadows move and the camera moves, and we've seen it. We know it's going to happen, and it's not outstandingly better. It's just, it's there, and it's good, but it's not wow, because you're expecting it. Anyway, cheers, y'all. So we'll begin several nights in Castle Orlock. Hutter will have to sign various bits of documentation. Put your signature there. And do not worry about the verbiage and the dialogue on the documentation. It's written in the old style of my forefathers. And this goes on, and he signs away his life, basically. And you can tell he's a bit worried about this. First night, he's cutting some bread, and of course he cuts himself with, clumsy fucker, How often do you do that? You're cutting a bit of bread, and you put the blade through your own finger. No, I've done it live on camera on this channel, so you guys know how easy it is to slit your own viscera with a blade. And of course, Nosferatu's like, oh yeah, interested in that. Like, you cut yourself, come by the fire, because I don't want you to be ill, and whatever. And I just suck the blood out of you, bitch. So Thomas Hutter will go through night after night of being drained. Now, right away, oh boy, Nosferatu is not biting on the neck. He ain't a neck nibbler. He's a breast biter. Why? No real reason. Fucking Eggers just want to do something a bit different. So, it's so cliched, isn't it, to bite on the nibble on the neck. And the little puncture wounds there. That's a bit boring. It's been done a million times. What about biting on the boobie? Why? Well, feral creatures will bite on the neck because of the jugular, and other veins are running through. So you get a fair bit of, if that's what you're after, a bit of sustenance there. You bite on the boob, you got to go through a lot of meat. You're gonna get none. You're gonna puncture the heart. Where do you get the actual blood flow from? I don't really get it. But anyway, so bitage on the boobage, and our boy is like waking up each morning like, and of course he will find he can't get out. He said to the Count, and he calls him Sir at one point. Do not call me Sir. You call me Lord. You follow the traditions of my bloodline. I am a lord of whatever, mate. Whatever. I've travelled fucking here, and you give me some food. You've sucked blood out my thumb, and you'd have been a pain in the ass. And he will be a pain in the ass as well, sadly. So, but you sign these documents and all this, and and he sees a locket of a picture of Ellen Hutter, so Thomas Hutter's missus. Who is this? Is this the one you love? And of course, fucking the house he's buying is right opposite theirs. I've already said that his boss is in cahoots, occult-wise, with Nosferatu to bring this woman, or bring him to this woman, for fucking whatever bloody sake. Well, we'll come on to all that. But and like he's like, well, that's Ellen. And he's like, may I? In a curious shot, you have Nicholas Hoult standing there in his pants and his lovely sort of Victoriana, big billowy gothic shirt and a waistcoat and all that, and his tight-fitting beige trousers. And in the shot, because he has Ellen's picture in a locket hanging from his belt. I don't know why you're doing that, but anyway. And it's hanging off to this sort of side. May I? But when he does that, he hooks almost shadowy Hult's bollocks, and it's like, really, you've done that on purpose. What are you alluding to here? But he's done it. So Orlock will take the picture of Ellen. He already knows Ellen. You've got to remember that. She implored him through the cosmic fucking whatevers. And he answered. She asked for a guardian angel. But he is the one that came forward. It is what it is. So, this is the one I love. He didn't say this. I'm just making this up now. But this is the one. And I'm going to be... And he says to oh, I look forward to being your neighbour. Like, fuck. Oh, really? Really? You've put the shit up me here. And like, you think I'm going to live opposite you and just be like, hey, Count Orlock, good morning to you. Here's your milk. We're having a party. Do you fancy coming over? Bollocks. You know, you mean, fuck that. I've been ripping those. It's not. I don't care how long it took me to get here. I don't give a shit. The guy's a fucking fruitcake. I'm coming back home. Oh, I don't give a promotion. I don't give two tosses. This guy's a fucking weirdo. So are you for sending me out there. So fuck off. Anyway, things go from bad to worse. He takes the locket. He makes him sign this arcane document, which is not what Hutter thinks it is. It's not selling the deeds away. You've bought the house. It's signing his own divorce papers. And no, as if a fucking vampire really gives a shit about that sort of thing. Divorce. I want that woman. You married her. I must make her divorce you, or you divorce her before I can move in on her. And I'm gonna... What? You're a vampire. What do you care about this shit? Fucking red tape. You're having a laugh. So, our poor boy gets played again night after night, bitty on his booby boobs, and he finds, of course, as they always do, they prowl around the daytime and they find, my God, I can't get out, but what's this old crypt? You couldn't smash down the main door, which is not that big a door, but you find another old door and you pick up a huge rock and smash. You couldn't do that over there, it doesn't matter. And he finds the crypt that Nosferatu resides in a great moment. And, you know, he stands on the threshold, the steps coming down, the camera's on the inside. He's there, silhouetted by snow in the courtyard behind him. And you've got these sort of icy steps coming down. And he's there, billowy white shirt and waistcoat on. And he comes down the stairs. And I thought at the time, this reminds me of Ash in The Evil Dead. He is going to stumble, and if you look, you can see it coming. There's a little pile of loose stones on on one of the steps, and he comes down, and I went, oh! I'm in the flicks. Everyone's silent. I was like, oh, he's gonna, and he does. He fucking stumbles. And I thought, that's Ash. That's Ash for you, Bruce Campbell. There you go. And he finds the big sarcophagus of Count Orlock, Nosferatu, and it's got arcane occult symbolism all over it, be draped in it. His seal, you know, the wax seal for letters, is an occult symbol. It's not like some kind of ancient Romanian image. It is occult symbolism, and he manages to open this, and there's the Count lying there, nudie nudes, decrepit and horrible, because he is undead. He is a revenant. He's a ghoul. As I say, we'll talk more about what's happening, why things look the way they do. But what's next to him? Oh, because you're a fan, you've been biting me. You're a twat. You're after me, missus. What's lying next to the fucking coffin? A big pickaxe. Why the hell would the Count have a pickaxe lying next to his fucking coffin? What a doofus. So our boy picks it up, hefts it. But having said that, the sun, which was peeking through the windows, seems to have suddenly gone down. Bad timing again. So our boy wakes up and grabs it, fucking throws it, and bats, you know, our hero, hero, right across the crypt and stands up in full fucking horrible undead glory with his little undead willy. His willy's there. He's got a willy. Boosh! Oh, but he's big. Not the willy, but the rest of him is fucking big. And then obviously our boy gets bitten again, and possibly I've seen lots of reviews saying that he is seduced and the Count has his way with him. You do see him getting bitten again. He gets chased by wolves, which Nicholas Hoult said the most terrifying thing in a movie, making this movie, was being chased by real life wolves running down a corridor after me, and I have to shut doors behind me to stop them. He said I was basically shitting myself. But he gets into another room again, his bedroom, hides under the bedclothes, and doesn't matter because the Count gets in there again, and you will see the Count naked in his horrible bodysuit of rotting cadaverish, physicality, humping the arse off Nicholas Hoult, who is biting on the boob as well. Now, Nicholas Hoult's not nude in this, and it's also he's on top of and face down, and Hoult's face up. I don't know too much about what that sort of thing entails, but but apparently he is shagging him. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. Apparently he's shagging him. This is quite widely known. It's meant to be he is ravishing Thomas Potter. Nice musical flourish there. Disturbing quality. None. And anyway, furthering any more impromptu rogering, Nicholas Hoult manages to make a getaway. Chased by wolves again, he gets through a window and falls into the big river outside, washes up on the banks there, and is found by Orthodox Russian Orthodox nuns, and ends up in this nunnery, this church, who then tell him he is Nosferatu, he is an undead spirit, he is being cursed to walk as a cadaver, as the dead, among the living, but he cannot leave his own grave, his own... Why am I doing this? They don't speak like him. that's Nosferatu talking there. His own... the earth, the soil of his grave, he cannot leave that. By day he must rest within all this, but he's just like, fucking hell, whatever, I don't care. I've got to get back to my missus. And they go, you can't go. But I must go because he's after her. He's coming after my wife, Ellen. So, but you're too ill to leave. But he gets on a fucking horse, like, I'm out of here. Got to get back. In the meantime, of course, Orlock has put coffins aboard a schooner, and with his earth in it, and yeah, it's the Demeter. Well, it ain't the Demeter. In Nosferatu, it's not called the Demeter. In fact, I forgot what the name is in this movie. It's got a different name again, probably. And it travels around. A lot of people talk about this, Romania or Transylvania, the Carpathian Mountains. How the fuck does it get anywhere to England in Stoker's novel? Well, it fucking travels right the way around the Black Sea, from the port of Varna, the Black Sea, the Strait of Gibraltar, and it goes round, the Atlantic, and hits, England that way. Now this is Germany. Well, it takes the same fucking route, doesn't it? It just doesn't go to England. It just goes round. Germany's got beaches. It's got a coastline. It can land there. It's ridiculous. Of course it is. It doesn't make any sense. You've got the River Danube, which flows right down from the the Black Forest in Germany, right the way down through about 20 bloody countries, all the way through Europe into the Black Sea. and the Danube Delta. Where is it? Where it empties in the Black Sea? It's fucking Romania. So they could have just gone up the Danube, but they don't do that. The film doesn't make a great deal of this, which is a bit of a shame, because the last voyage of the Demeter, yes, that film which came out, it should have come out about 3 or 4 years ago, but you only got it about 2 years ago, and what a fucking disappointment that turned out to be as well. Oops, I reviewed it, I weren't happy with it. Looked great, but was shit. Oh dear, you've got something killing off your crew by night, but we'll hunt it down night after night. Why not hunt it down during the fucking day? What are you, fucking stupid? You know? Oh, God almighty. One of many horrible grievances with that movie. But we know that Dracula, Orlock, will kill off the entire crew. Now here was a great sequence which really Eggers could have really used. It's what we all love. I've never really seen done properly until Last Voyage of the Demeter, which arguably it wasn't done properly. It became just, well, shit, I'll be honest. And here it's just as much shit. You get, oh, rats, there's rats. Orlock is pestilence, he is death. Well, as I say, there's a lot more. I'm just going through the plot. A lot more to go on to, the themes and why things are happening or why it's done a certain way. And the rats with the bubonic plague are killing the crew. But it ain't just them. Oh no, because our boy, you know, he's getting out for him at that big great fucking coffin, which is dragging the schooner down, and you do see a bit of throat ripping. It doesn't go for the tit on these fucking sailor boys. Oh no, they're full of salt and brine. Ugh. So you do see him like rip some guy's throat out, pound to go, and go for the second one too, and kills the entire crew. And this ship will land in Bisberg. Boosh! Crashes into the docks. Boof! It's all over the show. Rats aplenty. In the meantime, of course, Ellen has been somnambulistic, she's been sleepwalking, she's been contorting herself like Reagan in an extended cut of The Exorcist. She's backbreaking, she's fucking speaking in tongues, she's moving about, and she's going out to the darkness, and like, he's coming. She's telling everyone he's coming, he is coming. And not only she is doing that, but her knock, Samuel McBurney. Is it Samuel McBurney? Yeah, I'm right. Who owns this movie, by the way? Herr Knock has been found eating cattle in the field, just chowing down on the livestock. They brought him into Dr. Seaver's asylum. Ralph Innocent, who is in The Witch. Is he Northman as well? I can't remember now. Ralph Innocent has the deepest, graveliest voice. Michael Wincott used to own the deepest, gravelly voice. Vin Diesel tried to do it, but couldn't quite do it. He weren't that gravelly enough. Ralph Innocent, Northern English actor. Wow, he's got it. That voice. You watch The Witch. My God, he has a subwoofer in his bollocks, in his stomach, in his esophagus. He has multiple subwoofers, and it's like you're pouring down, lots of metal balls down his throat while he's gargling. And he's outstanding. Dr. Seavers, he plays. So, we meet Herr Knock, Simon McBurney, who is now off his fucking box, off his McBurney box, and he's lives for the master. I've got a mouse, I've got a squirrel, I've got a stoat, I've got a weasel, I've got a pigeon, a lovely pigeon here. Bites his fucking out, blood's going everywhere. Occult symbolism all over the cell wall. He's giving it loads. He's loving it. Now, the thing about this guy, I thought with the makeup on and the mad hair and mad professor sort of hair, I thought, is that Stephen Pemberton from Inside Number 9 and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, or League of Gentlemen, and so many other great movies and TV shows, very leaning towards the the offbeat, the dark, the nasty, the horror element. I thought, is that him? Could that be you, Stephen? No, it's not. No, it's this other guy. But he does not sound like him, and he's brilliant. He's coming, And of course, they've seen, Ellen is like, he's coming, with their sleepwalking and their trances and their back-breaking fucking possession moments. So like, my God, he's saying the same thing she is. There's something here. There's something else at play here. I should say now that Ellen has been staying at their friend's house because once Thomas has gone, she's had a few problems, sleepwalking and dreams and all this kind of bollock-a-rama. And she's staying with Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yeah. And his wife, he plays Friedrich, who's a shipping magnate, And his missus, what's her name? Oh God. And I didn't write it down. I don't believe it. Doesn't matter. She's married to or going out with Rami Malek, but she's non-binary. So she's in this anyway. As I think her name's Anna, who's Friedrich's wife, and they've got two young daughters. They're twins or something. I don't know what the hell they are, but they're two young daughters, and Ellen's been staying with them and pissing them off a lot because she's sleepwalking and back-breaking, arching, fucking levitating and all this kind of shit. They're tying her down to the bed. They're putting ether on her all the time to calm her down. He's coming. Yeah, well, fucking, well, who's coming? Do you mean Thomas? Well, fucking whatever. And now Dr. Sievers knows that this guy's going, he's coming. Hang on. So he brings Friedrich into it. Listen, as Ralph Innes is like, listen, Friedrich, I think I might know somebody who might fucking know something about this, because he's a fucking supreme fucking weirdo, and he knows his stuff. He's from Switzerland. His name is Dr. Franz from Switzerland, but he got kicked out of Switzerland because of his fucking interest in the occult. And like, what? I don't like giving him a Scouse accent, but he's northern, and he's like, and he's oh my God, man, says Aaron Taylor Johnson. They're really horrible fucking accents. My God, man, he's got a big mustachio. We'll talk about moustaches a lot. And it's like, my God, man, what do you mean? You want to call upon this man? What's wrong with him? Well, you see, the thing is, he was a learned scholar and a great big fucking professor. Everyone loved him. And then suddenly he went fucking mad and went into all the occult and the weirdness, Bacchalianism and Pacellianism. I've made those two words up. And and they kicked him out. He became a laughingstock, and Switzerland kicked him out. He's here now because Wisberg, we take fucking everybody, don't we? He's just down the road. Let's go and get him. The accent went all over the show, didn't it? So they do, and they go and get him. And who is it? It's Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe, with the face of a gargoyle. Willem Dafoe, one of the world's greatest actors. Brilliant. Also in The Lighthouse for Robert Eggers. And The Northman. He's in The Northman as well, isn't he? I'm sure he is. I can't remember now. And made a few horror films, a few strange movies, and he's also played Max Schreck. I said before, maybe it did, I can't remember now. Shadow the Vampire. That's the horror version of the making of the original Nosferatu. He plays Max Schreck, and he does it brilliantly. Now, when this film first got touted, Willem Dafoe was meant to be playing, yeah, you guessed it, Nosferatu. And we were like, yes, he's not playing an actor vampire playing Max Schreck. He's gonna be Nosferatu for fucking real. And then no, it got changed. And it became Bill Skarsgård. Well, yeah, this is what it is. So now he plays, you know, Professor or Dr. von Franz. And he loves his cats, loves a bit of pussy, does our boy. Actually, pussy plays a fair bit in this movie, because Ellen has a cat. It doesn't make any, it's just there, and it becomes a visual thing, and it will get mentioned, but it doesn't do anything, I don't think. So they go to the apprenticeship. Listen, I'm a former student. Dr. Seaver's Ralph Ineson is like, well, I'm a former student of yours. I love you. I love you, mate. You know, you were fucking great. I fucking thought you were fucking you were screw loose, but I fucking loved you. And now listen, I got this bitch. She's got a fucking bit of a problem. Her back goes fuck, and her ass goes all over the show. And she starts saying like, he's coming, and she's getting shagged by a fucking phantom. So, could you fucking have a look at this? She's gone Scottish again. Could you come and have a look at this? Oh, you mean Nosferatu? I don't know what that means, because you never fucking said that one when I was studying under you, but come anyway. So he checks, and he puts a fucking, take those fucking ropes off her. Well, we thought because she's somnambulistic, she might fall off a balcony, she might walk under a horse and carriage. So we've tied her down. Well, that's fucking great, isn't it? Yeah. It's very understanding of you. And they're using ether to like knock her out all the time. So he hypnotizes her, and he goes like, I'm going to show you, look, I know there's someone in communication with her. So I'm going to show you I'm in control of her now. Watch this. Bring her arm up now. Willem Dafoe said, puts a fucking knitting needle style fucking needle through. Right through there, which you can do, of course. You know, your ulnar and your fucking, whatever it is, your femur, where it is, I forget the names of the bones in the forearm, but they go like that, and there's a big gap right in the middle, so you can do that, put a big fucking needle through. So he does that. Now I'm in control. All you get out of it is like, he's coming, and then more back-breaking stuff, like, and so this goes on. Well, Doctor, what do you think it is? She is under the spell of Nosferatu. You know, well, what's Nosferatu? He doesn't know what any of this shit is. He has to go back and read to him. Well, where's their husband? He's gone to Count Orlock in Carpathians. Oh shit. Where's Nock? Well, Nock's in a fucking asylum. He's in my fucking cell, in my asylum. Well, let's go to Nock's fucking business, and that's fine. And they find all arcane, ritualistic stuff, and books and journals, which is just basically, you know, plot giving. Look, he has been in cahoots with Orlock, who knows how, to bring him to find her. Okay, yeah, so there you go. What the hell does that mean? That's fucking stupid, but it is what it is. And right, so let's go and speak to him again. And in the meantime, because he's turned nasty in his cell, and they've chained him up in like a wheelchair with a bucket under his ass and all that, like, and a tin pot on his head, almost like they're going to electrocute him. And a porter comes in. All right, my mate, what's wrong with you? I'll fucking sort, because he's gone on his side. I'll fucking sort you out. Hey, come on, lad. And gets him, fucking bites his fucking throat out. Great scene, and gets away. I'm away. Master, I'm here, I will get you. And of course, the plague ship has arrived. The crew are dead. And Orlock you don't see Orlock even getting off it, but you do see this boy. Fucking what's his name? Knock. Knocky Knock is, and I didn't like this scene, to be honest, because you've got canals there, which is seen in the original movie and of course in the Werner Herzog version. But he's rowing down this doomy, brooding canal, and those oars, you're like, no fucking way. I thought at the time, you're not going to get down that. The way you're doing this, you are not going to paddle silently and stealthily down this canal to, what's the place called again? Schloss Grunwald. Unnoticed. You ain't going to do it. Original movie, it was time displacement. You saw Max Schreck, Graf Orlock, bringing his coffins and moving it in fast motion and putting them in. And back in the day, back in 1922, and a lot of other showings in the next few years, that blew people's minds because it was like so bizarre. They've broken the realms of, you know, physical, you know, interaction with nature. My God, how's he doing that? Now it looks like that's just fast motion, and it's like, ooh, it's a bit dizzy, a bit daft. But in this, they don't show it because you have Knock rowing him down towards it, like, and it's nice and eerie, but it's also like, how are you getting them oars? It looks a bit too. Nah, I didn't really buy into that. So he now lives in Schloss Grunwald, right opposite, of course, Ellen. And he comes and visits Ellen. Thomas Hutt has arrived back home as well, after being nursed back to health, almost back to health, by the Orthodox, you know, Russian nuns, and he's arrived. He arrives back in Wisberg, and Ellen realises and goes out to greet him, and he's there in a courtyard, stone cobbled courtyard, and this is shit. This, and it's just. And it falls off the horse. You've just come all this fucking way. You've got there. And like, oh, the cliche, the old trope, proving he's absolutely shit. He's a useless hero, which of course he is. Jonathan Harker's useless. They're all useless. All the men folk in these movies are fucking useless. They're lying the point. So he's now like, but he's all over the show. And like, in the meantime, Friedrich and his wife Anna had got pissed off with, you know, Ellen's somnambulistic fucking wanderings and stupid possession antics. So they want you gone. I want you gone. I love you. I love your husband. You're busy, mate, but you can fuck off. I'm sick of this. I've got 2 girls here. You know, I've got a shipping fucking industry to run. And then knock at 3 a.m. One of your ships has crashed. It's got plague rats on it. Oh shit! The plague, bubonic plague, strikes down everybody in Wisberg. So there are all the corpses on the streets. There's wagons piled high with bodies. Another one, and like, oh God, what's going on? What brought this? Something's arrived. Is this the guy you were talking about? The guy that's to do with Knock, and the guy with Thomas Hutter, and she saying he's coming. Knock said he's coming. He's here. Do you think he's here? And everyone's dying because he's here? Well, I never. We thought it was all bullshit. So yeah. He's there, and so he's going to put the moves on Ellen. I give you 3 nights. Do you not know what your husband did in my castle when I bummed him to hell and back? He signed over your name. He signed over divorce papers. For coin, for gold, because he did make him do it, but of course Thomas didn't know what he was fucking signing. I thought, I've done all the papers, haven't I? You know, for the business and the transaction. So what have I got to sign this for? You will sign. Here is your commission. Big sack of gold. So he signs it. But what he's done, he's given away his wife. I know, it's stupid. It is such stupidity. And so now he's visiting her. Your husband gave you away. We had a covenant, you and me, from fucking years ago. Do you not remember you fucking summoned me? Well, I'm here now, and I want what is mine. Your husband's a bastard. And all this shit's going on. So you've got 3 nights to let me in and do what I want. Fucking want. And so she's like, she's defiant. And if you do not do this, I will kill, I will destroy everything you hold dear. I think I've given him better dialogue than he actually has in the movie. So he does. He fucking does. Anna, Friedrich's wife, will be stricken with bubonic plague. She and Ellen sleep together one night to protect each other, but sleep, and he gets Ellen he gets Anna, and Ellen sees, and she's lying there off the side of the bed, all rats all over, nibblies, and oh my god. But then they start doing transfusions and what have you, try to save her, and then the next night, I said I would fucking destroy everything that means anything to you. I'm loving all this, all the finger play. Who doesn't? But in a horrific scene, Anna wakes up all bitten and fucked over, and finds her 2 daughters in the room, and he's there in silhouette, chows down on one, drops the body, picks the other one, kills the 2 of them, and she's like, ah, as you do, and he comes, takes her. So Friedrich, Aaron Taylor Johnson's family's been fucking away. They've done nothing wrong. They've been wiped out. He's been fucking, there's plague everywhere, and he's lost his wife and his 2 kids. And get on this, she was preggers as well with a son. Well, I don't know how they knew that. It's still massively inside us. So how the fuck do you know that? And so you have a big tragic funeral, and he will go into the crypt. This is Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's just done Craven the Hunter. And yeah, we will not talk any more about that. And was up for James Bond 007. And the Broccoli's fucking wanted him. What the hell? What the fucking hell? And so he breaks into the family crypt after the funeral, and his 2 daughters are buried there, and he fucking breaks open his wife's casket, and you can see he's now got bubonic plague. There's all warty bits and like a bit of skin tribulations taking place, and he picks her carcass up and is trying to snog her. Now, you are thinking, vampire took her out, right? She's going to suddenly, and wouldn't it be great? It'd be different, and we need something different. You're going to remake this movie, do something different. But no. It's not in the original movie, but it's redundant. Nothing happens. Our boys, Hutter, now kind of a little bit recovered. I know what the fiend wants. Bit of Keanu Reeves there. Willem Dafoe, how do we kill this thing? I don't know. You don't fucking know. Well, it says something here in this old tome about like, if a woman of fair heart can keep him, till cock crows, the first, light of dawn, then he'll be destroyed. Okay. You've seen what the gypsies did. They put a fucking great big stake through this bastard's heart, fucking hammered it down. They vomited up all his victims, fluids. And Thomas Hutter saw that She was saying, this is what you do this sort of fucking thing, but anyway, no, maybe that's what we do, but we've got to find him. If we can't go back to his casket of his own earth, his funereal earth, then we've got him. What does that mean? I don't know. I'm not an expert in this. Well, we brought you into this because you're meant to be the fucking expert and you don't know fucking shit. And Friedrich, Aaron Taylor Johnson, actually does like, you know nothing. You know fucking nothing. You're meant to be the expert and you've told us fuck all. It's brilliant in that respect. So anyway, but what Willem Dafoe's character, Franz, has realised with Ellen, because it's only been 2 nights. So your first night, you've got 3 nights. This was the first night. I'll be back tomorrow, and then tomorrow be killed. The family. So it's a 3rd night, and this is the day of the 3rd night. Right. So what we're gonna do, and he speaks. It's like, and she's already worked it out. Look, he's coming to me. I'm the one in charge. So. And he's like, well, sunlight will be his downfall. And they're basically saying, if you can keep him, till dawn, then we've got him. But we can't interfere, otherwise we'll all be killed, basically. So this is what happens, and you get this sort of protracted finale where Hutter, Willem Dafoe, Von Franz, and Dr. Sievers go to well, first of all, they go to the crypt of the Friedrich family. Where's Friedrich gone? Well, he was distraught. It could only be in one place. Friedrich is the Quincy P. Morris Texan version. He's not that character, but he's the closest you get in this version to Bram Stoker's. He's the more action one, the one you think is going to do something, and he doesn't do fuck all. So they find it. They break into the Friedrich family fucking crypt. The 2 daughters are there, and like, shit, what's this? And he's got his wife's body out of the casket, and he's been trying to snog it. And they're both dead. Like, so you got a bit of necrophilia going on here. Like, what the hell is that about? And it is. It's not just hinted at. It's there. Because Eggers shows a lot of legs spread, a lot of sexual positioning. So I fucking burn all this at all. And there's rats everywhere, so I fucking burn it all. So flambe, And right, listen, we got to go and find, fucking hell, what's the name of the place? Schloss Grunwald. That's where he is. That's where that bastard sleeps. Let's go fucking get him in there. Right. Yeah, let's do that. But, of course, our boy, fucking Willem Dafoe, Von Franz knows. He's always spoken to Ellen. You keep him. I know it's a sacrifice. It's Death and the Maiden. Death and the Maiden is a very ancient painting depicting beauty and innocence of a young woman embraced by death, pestilence, evil, depravity and decay. And it is like the ruination of life. There's many interpretations, but this is what they're doing. And they do show this sort of thing. They definitely do. So right, look, we've got to go to what's it called again? Schloss Grunwald. Let's leg it over there and then go and kill him in his own fucking place before he can rise again. He's already risen because she's brought him to it. So he arrives and snivelling, snarling, and I've waited a long time for this. And she's like, take me, I'm yours. And by the way, my dad is Captain Jack Sparrow. Oh, hi, really? And he sups on her breast, her bare breasts, which aren't the most attractive I've ever seen in my life. I'll have to be honest, and I don't mean to be disparaging about anyone's. I mean, look at me, fucking no oil painting me, Death in the Maiden, Death in the fucking washing machine that's just vomit a ton of, you know, huge fucking voluminous workers' bloody fatigues. But she's not the best. And so he chows down on her and she keeps him waiting. They go to fucking hell, Schloss Grunwald, and they find the coffin. But who's in the coffin? Yes, who is it? Yes, Ronald McDonald. No, it's not Ronald McDonald. It is Herr Knockers. It's like nudie nudes. Hello. Oh, fucking hell. Right, boosh. Fuck off. They stake him. Fuck you. Fucking twat. Bang, bang, bang. And then, right, set fire. And you get Willem Dafoe in a famous shot, famous pre-release publicity shot, where he's like, like that, with all fires raging around it. And everyone was going, wow, this looks amazing. It did in the picture. You watch the film, you go like, oh, right. And then you get a long shot of fucking Thomas Holt running down the streets of Visberg. The streets of Visberg. Let's just talk about that for a second. It's filmed in Prague primarily, and a lot of it's obviously CG and, you know, whatever, manipulation. Cobbled streets and lovely, like, sort of like Peter Jackson over shots, drone flyovers. The big shadow hand, which you saw in the trailer, of course, goes over, you know, the cityscape, which is wonderful, of course. On ground level, they do their best to like show different angles, but it's the same fucking street every fucking time. They run up and down it, they come back down the way, they go around a little corridor, a little alleyway there, there's bodies, there's people in death carts, but it's the same street every time. And that kind of, you go like, you're trying to show magnitude but a scale, but you're really not doing it because it looks just the same as it did before, when you could have done something different. But anyway, but you get this overhead shot, Thomas Holt fucking legging it, and he's got a limp. Funny how I forgot his limp. He has got a limp, and I remember thinking at the time, like, lost your limp there, didn't you, boy? Now, I sat there in the cinema and I thought, limps, yes. When your adrenaline kicks in, you will get past any wound for a while. And then I thought, I've had limps before. I've been stabbed in the leg, and I've had other shit has happened to my kneecap, and I've had to try to run from various nefarious factions. And you can run for, I don't know, maybe 5-10 seconds, and then suddenly, if muscle isn't working, if something's been slit, it can't work. You know, it doesn't suddenly, you're not Wolverine. You know, it will give way and you will fall down and you will be in a world of hurt. And I thought, you were limping before, and now you're like, fuck, but it's, I've got this heroic charge. It wouldn't happen. I'm picking a hole in that, considering what's going on in the rest of this movie. And they get there, of course, and she is delayed. She says to him, more, give me more, or take more, whatever it is. Like, so it's like, the cock has just crowed, but my cock is still hard. My forefathers would demand that I savage you and ravage you more. It takes some doing that, you know. So it's like, he bites down a bit more. It's killing her, but she's keeping him. Sunlight comes up. And unlike F.W. Murnau's Max Schreck, he tries to retreat, and it's like, he's caught by the sun, and evaporates. No, this guy sees the sun coming through, and then he bleeds from the eyes, he bleeds from everywhere. He was meant to bleed from the arse as well, and they filmed it. Robert Eggers said, we filmed, him bleeding from the arse, because he's nude. He's nudes on top of her, and her legs are spread. It is. You can't deny the sexuality of what's happening. He's humping at the same time. We've seen his vampiric, nada. So it's like, and so he knows what he's doing. It's a lumpen, mistaken sack of awful flesh. It's almost like what's her face from Evil Dead 2? Oh God, who is it? The witch from the cellar comes up with the big awful sack bodysuit. Well, he's like that, and so he's nudes, and the whole thing begins to bleed, and they filmed him bleeding from his arse, and then they went, oh shit, you know what? That looks stupid. We can't do this. So they cut that bit out. So they did film it though. He bled from his anus, his vampiric anus, and and his eyes fucking bleed, and his mouth bleeds, and he's like, just that's it. And they break down the door, and Ellen, you're under this sack of shit. Don't kick him off. Just like she's like. And she dies, holding hands with Thomas. And I think it's Willem Dafoe's Von Franz picks up the family cat and stands there at the window with the dawn light coming through and delivers a final monologue of whatever. And we see him in the mirror. Now, weirdly, watching it, I thought there's going to be a twist here. His reflection will disappear. Reflections disappearing was not part of any of this sort of story, so not until much later, so it's not a fucking thing, and it doesn't happen. And how would it happen to him anyway? So, then the film just ends, and that's Nosferatu, 2024, 2025 in the UK, but 2024 movie. Right. You got a fair bit of critique throughout that. This is a 2 hour 10 length movie, and the first hour I was genuinely riveted by, and I really enjoying it. I found Lily Rose Depp unattractive and unappealing, but her performance was great. I like Nicholas Hoult. I think he's fantastic. I'm not a fan of Aaron Taylor-Johnson at all. But I thought he was okay. But the whole Carpathian stuff, the gypsies, that sequence is outstanding. We know because Eggers has said that the home video release will have it's an extended cut for 4K and what have you. Well, I hope there's more there. I hope it's not meandering, brooding bullshit dialogue and just lots of scene staring at monochrome fucking imagery. Please don't just do that. Give it something. Give it a bit more welly, bit more to do. But the first hour was great. Any Dracula story, any version of Dracula, it's the first half is the best. The first act, or 2 acts, depending on how long they're going to do it for. Jonathan Harker, Thomas Hutter, whoever it is, ends up at Castle Dracula and then goes through the shit with Dracula and usually his brides as well. That's the most melancholy, eerie, frightening, disturbing stuff. The shocks are all there. Once it goes beyond that, you're like, oh, fucking hell. You're not there isn't a version. Okay, Bram Stoker's Dracula tries to bring in the race against time, and you go to Carfax Abbey and you go to London and various killings and blah blah blah, and then you've got to get him back and all, got to beat him back to his castle. Begging the fucking thing. Why did Dracula fucking do it in the first place? It's such a stupid. It's a stupid story. I live in this decrepit castle. I'm going to go buy a decrepit old place in a modern society. But I'm still going to be a twat, so I'm not going to survive, and I'm going to come back to my own. It's stupid, but we love it, don't we? No, we do. without it, there wouldn't be the gothic. Well, you've got Sheridan Le Fanu and Montague Summers and all that. You've got a lot of gothic trappings, and of course Robert Louis Stevenson. So you've got a lot of these old novels and stories which encapsulate and create the genre of the gothic horror story, which are really back in vogue at the moment, especially with this and the forthcoming Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Oh boy, looking forward to that. But I was looking forward to this as well. Oh no. So first hour is great. Second hour, it becomes repetitive, tedious, boring beyond belief. Really ridiculous dialogue. The dialogue for Nosferatu, Dacian or Dacian, it doesn't exist. There's no precedent for it. It's documented, but no one knows how to fucking speak it. So don't make out that you're doing. Oh, we're giving him the accent, and they do speak in foreign tongues. It's subtitled and all that. And it's great, but don't go thinking any authenticity there, because there ain't none. And Lily Rose Depp. Oh God, if you start falling for all this crap, Oscar worthy. What? She's overacting, and she's bloody boring as well. It's like, oh, he's coming. He is coming. Thomas, don't go. There's a horrible sex scene where she uses Thomas when he comes back. Yeah, he's made you impotent. I'm paraphrasing here, but I can control him. So she has sex with her husband, who's a fucking complete doofus anyway. Useless doofus. That's his Latin name, and she's doing it to taunt Orlock, who can see, who knows, because they're connected. Fuck off, and has this horrible sex scene. She drives him wild to make him have sex with her. And it's one of those where, like, oh, her legs are parted, and he's got a 10. It's all Victoriana. He's got about 10 gothic shirts on, a waistcoat. He's got kecks. If you ever get those kecks from trousers, that is, from that period of time, they go right up to here. There's about 20 buttons up here. I've got them. And his manager's like, he doesn't even unbutton anything, and he's like, and they're writhing. It's fucking stupid. So she annoys the hell out of me, and it becomes it's Oscar worthy. She's fucking so not Oscar worthy at all. She's shit. She's repulsive, and I can't stand her in the movie at all. Well, there you go. I said that, didn't I? Damn it. That was a bit out there, wasn't it? Well, Lily, I'm afraid your dad is sexier than you are. So I'd rather have him there playing Ellen Hutter. He put some sauvage around himself, and the wolves would love him. Anyway, right, okay, let's get to the big boy himself. The big boy, well, little boy, because we see his little prosthetic widgie. Bill Skarsgård. Pennywise the dancing clown. Yes. The Crow. Well, he's unrecognisable in this. He is. And of course, they did abscond with the look of Max Schreck, the iconic Orlock look. Which, of course, Klaus Kinski. A lot of K's. Max Schreck, Orlock, Klaus Kinski. The baldy head, the pointy ears, the eyes, the incisors being the big fucking jobbies that do the deed. What did he give him? A decrepit baldy bonce, blazing eyes, but not really feral, not like demonic, just old bastard eyes, slightly pointy ears. But they give him a great big monster tash, a great big porn star tash. You can see all my brethren here are wearing the big tashes. You can see them. The big top lip rug. They're doing it. In Bram Stoker's novel, Dracula has a white moustache. In Dan Curtis's version, there's a moustache, is there? In Jess Franco's version with Christopher Lee, there is a tash. The tash is there for a very, very distinct, and I like it, reason. Noblemen of Transylvania, the Carpathians, Romania, in fact every Eastern European country, Russia as well, all the Tsars and all that bunch, and even the Teutonic dynasties of Germany, France and that, like, had great big fucking tashes. They did. They could be baldy coots on top, but they had, well, I've got to grow hair somewhere because a man is virile with hair. Look at the Vikings, baldy hairs with fucking beards down to their fucking toes. Hair maketh the man. Macho hairiness. So he has a great big fucking tash. It's split the camp, I know, with people who've seen the movie so far. It's an unusual look. It's not what I thought they'd go for. In fact, all the advertising had Bill Skarsgård just as Bill Skarsgård with a white face, pointy ears, baldy head, and big, talons. He was Nosferatu. But they didn't do that. Misdirection. Brilliant. And I don't mind the look. And before anyone starts going, it's Vlad Tepes. It's what it's meant to be. That Romanian warlord who fought off the Turks and everybody. Yeah, Vlad the Impaler, who was the inspiration for Bram Stoker's Dracula, who is not the inspiration for Bram Stoker's Dracula. I don't care what you say. There is no notes that Bram Stoker wrote about Vlad Tepes being the inspiration. It was a Carpathian Romanian warlord. Oh, you could say, oh, but that clearly means Vlad Tepes, Vlad the Impaler. It fucking doesn't. Back in the 50s, 60s and 70s, that became the vogue to say, well, that's what Bram Stoker was trying to do. Yeah. And then, of course, Christopher Lee did In Search of Dracula. And because Christopher Lee looks like Vlad the Impaler. All the paintings and depictions of Vlad the Impaler, Vlad Tepes, Christopher Lee looks like that. So of course he's going to fucking do it because he played Dracula for, well, too many movies. And we all love Christopher Lee. We all love Hammer, but my God, they should have put that back in the casket and put it back down after the first 3 movies, methinks. Although, hang on a minute, Dracula 1972, Caroline Munro. Yeah, we can allow another one. Of course we can. Now, but Bram Stoker did not make any reference to Vlad Tepes. That became something because of the Hammer movies, and then became, because Christopher Lee fucking looks like him, so it's got to be that. It's bullshit, folks. It isn't real. It might be, but there's no documentation. None. Zip. Nada. But anyway, Robert Eggers went, like, look, I don't give 2 shits about that. Mine is an undead vampire, but he's from a dynastic, noble family bloodline, and they would have had these big moustaches. He's fucking dead, and he's still growing hair. I know. What does it matter? It makes it distinctive. Had he done the makeup, the look of Max Schreck. By the way, everyone thinks Max Schreck looked like that in real life. Max Schreck was actually quite a good looking fella and made many other movies. It looked nothing like Nosferatu. It was just the makeup that they did, which was outstandingly well done. Back in its day, you had nothing like that, and it became iconic. So we said, like, well, I'm not going to do that because whatever version of that I do, you're not going to like it. It's been done, of course. Reggie Nolde in Salem's Lot. It's been done a million times. Klaus Kinski, of course. So I'm not going to do that. I want mine to be, and here's a very important point. Sorry, I've been drinking Budweiser here, and a little bellicose popples are coming up. What he's done here is the vampire, the Nosferatu. Nosferatu being a word from actually several different other countries, Greek, Spanish, there's different iterations of it. And it means something slight. It's always something from beyond the grave. Something that's been cursed and brought back and will plague the living. Whether it sucks the blood or just beats them up or shags them to death, it does this. And there's where like Robert Eggers got his mojo from for this. He said, my Nosferatu is the original Eastern European vampire, where it's a revenant, it's a ghoul, it's cursed to come back from the grave, stalk the earth at night, preying on the living, but it's got to rest during the day. But it's not like a noble count that has the powers to change into a bat or a wolf, green mist or whatever, to control the wind and the seas and all that. Yeah, hasn't got that, although he does use that in the movie, but that's not the point. But I want him to visually be a corpse brought back, and to be repellent, to be death. And then what's he searching for? He's searching for more life, or is he? It's not really made clear what he's genuinely after. You could argue that it's not made very clear in the original movies either, or even Stoker's novel. What the hell is Dracula really after? If you look at Luc Besson, who's currently doing Dracula, A Love Tale, and I've mentioned this a few times. Luc Besson is going like, well, I read the original Bram Stoker's Dracula novel, and no one's ever done this. It's the love story that's in there. I am fascinated by that. The love story. There's no fucking love story in it. There's none. There's nothing. There's no love story in Bram Stoker's Dracula. It just isn't there. What fucking love story is there? He hasn't read the book. You silly French twat. You haven't read the fucking book. Oh my god. And he's making an entire movie out of it. Now, what he's done, he's watched Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is the most closest, well, arguably, well, it isn't, but it's close enough to be called Bram Stoker's Dracula. But what they do in that, they give Dracula, he cursed life because he lost his wife. There's a rap there. I cursed my life because I lost my wife, and becomes a vampire. It doesn't make any sense why he suddenly becomes a vampire, but anyway, he does. And then you see, Mina. Mina's the reincarnation of Elisabetta. Now that is not true. That's not from the book. It's not there, and it made it a big gothic romance tragedy. That's what it did. And Luc Besson has seen that and gone, well, they called it Bram Stoker's Dracula. I haven't got to read the book because they're faithful, so I'll take it from that. Fucking idiot! You fucking idiot! You Gallic fool! So his version is going to be absolute fucking shit in pants, shit in the pants. But back to this. Robert Eggers has gone like, look, no, I want to have the old original vampire. Now, it has been in various movies beforehand. I would say that Mario Bava, Black Sabbath, with Boris Karloff, the Verdulag, is the closest sort of in theme to the vampire here. Is that, or it's a cursed sort of thing, but it is a revenant and it's nasty, The tash again is huge. It's what they would have worn, so I don't mind the tash being there. It does hide the fangs. The fangs, where the fangs? His teeth are fucking nasty, mate. They're diseased. They're crumbling. They're pointy. They're sharp. But they're not made a big thing of, because he's biting on the tit, so he's not going through thin, bit of flesh. He's biting down through, your pecs or a boob. You gotta do some damage to get in there and get some blood out of that, haven't you? I'm not one for love bites, I'll be honest. Anyone who put love bites on me, their nose got broken very quick. No matter how sexy they were, I'm like, the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck off me. Don't bite me, bitch. So, I don't mind the look. I don't mind the look at all. And in fact, there's many moments where, because he's tall, he's very tall, so he leans over people. He's very intimidating in that respect. And you know what it reminded me of? I mentioned Guillermo del Toro before with his Frankenstein adaptation, but Mimic, 1990, Vera Savino and all that, like a troubled movie, but a great. I enjoy it. And the mimics are they're massive, big fucking cockroaches. But when they bring their wings in, they have these horrible human faces, and they tower over their victims. And he looks like that, but with the big tash, and he's big, and I like that. I wish there was more of him actually fighting other people, like these pathetic vampire, which they are utterly pathetic vampire hunters. They're ineffectual, they do nothing at all. And he manages to, like, you know, overpower all of them. Would have been great and fling them around. You need scenes like that to make this a better, more exciting movie. As it stands right now, it is a slow, meandering snooze fest. Build up, an hour of build up. And then just this, come on, we're gonna, the end. What? Yeah, fucking what? Oh dear God. I mentioned Thomas Hutter being late. And I like this about this version. In the original and I think the Klaus Kinski version, I'm not too sure now, could be wrong about that. We're going to watch it later on tonight. We watched the original last night, and this film doesn't hold a candle to it, I'll be honest. Thomas Hutter is late 3 times in this film. He's late for his appointment with Herr Knock. You know, you're 15 minutes late, they say to him like that. When he arrives at Castle Orlock is like, you are late. The hour of midnight has gone. The servants have gone. Twice he's late. 3rd time, his wife is sacrificing herself to save him and the city of Visberg. That's what she's doing. And he's late to save her, late. And he comes in, went to the classman as she dies, spread eagled with this fucking dirty corpse, rattled up you know what. What a way to see your loved one go. It's like, fuck all that, like, kick the carcasses off the bed. Yeah, whatever. Who's in the next apartment? That fit blonde. Yeah, okay, yeah, alright. Gonna move on, haven't you? And he's late 3 times. Symbolic? I don't know. There is. The death of the maiden. The 3 times late. I think. See, the soundtrack seems to think there's something important about that. The soundtrack. Robin Carolan. I've reviewed the soundtrack before. The soundtrack dropped. Literally, a month before. I say 3 weeks. A month before the film came out on December 25th. December 25th. I mentioned there's a Christmas tree in it, and Willem Dafoe lights a pipe and a candle from the Christmas tree. So is it a Christmas movie? Is it fucking? It's a throwaway moment. Bill Skarsgård. The voice, that voice, wow. Yeah, he had some, I don't know where it's from, some operatic voice coach who trained him for fucking weeks, months before doing the part, playing it, to drop his voice an octave. That's pretty big to you and me, you know. Oh, you think you can go low? How low can you go? Well, Bill Skarsgård can go a lot lower than us. And you've got Ralph Ineson there. For fucking hell's sake. He's got the deepest, graveliest voice going. And he's nothing. He's chipper. He's like Mary Poppins compared to fucking Skarsgård's voice. Now, there's no way on God's good air that I think that the voice you hear in that movie is genuinely Bill Skarsgård's voice, without manipulation and enhancement, dragging it down, adding a bit more reverb. It's cool, of course they've done that. Don't fucking tell me that they haven't. They have. But his voice is still there. And brilliant it is too. I would say, you know, what's that quote from oh God, Indiana Jones and Kingdom of Crystal Skull? Oops, at least it ain't down despair. Well, the way you roll them W's. Well, they don't roll the W's, they extend the R's. Ad infinitum, the R's just go on forever and ever. The consonants are what take that speech. It's hard to do, but he's learned it, he's done it. My son said, you know, I couldn't, if I didn't know he was playing it, I'd still recognise him because I can tell his voice. All the Skarsgård voices I can tell. And I thought, well, that's brilliant. I didn't know it was him. If I didn't know he was playing that role, I would not have guessed it. Even from the you know, the accents, I would not have got it. And looking at the film, it is very hard to see Bill Skarsgård in there. I know he's Pennywise and all that, and the Crow, but I really can't see that. I find it a bit sort of, I don't know, perversely strange that Skarsgård reminds me, I don't know, visually in real life of Rami Malek, who's going out with that non-binary thing that plays Aaron Taylor-Johnson's missus in this. Oh, I don't care. You know, you can't say that. Well, I just did. I find Lily Rose Taylor, no, Lily Rose Depp, horrible. Literally horrible. I don't think the camera does it any justice at all. I've seen pictures of it, you know, in real life, and she's actually very pretty. Not in this. And she's meant to be the heroine, and you're like, oh wow, well, everything's geared around her. We must love her, and nope. The camera work. Oh, I'm gonna get this guy's name wrong here. I'm going to try not to. I've got a little notes here. Jaris. Oh God. Blashk. No, it's not Romanian. You think that? They think like Jaris, or is it Yaris? Blashke. You know, you think he's Romanian. He's not. He's American. He grew up with Robert Eggers. The two of them worked together many times. So they're good buddies, and he's filmed all of Eggers' movies. This is what he said. The movie was shot exclusively on Kodak Vision 3 500T 5219 film stock. The choice to shoot film was mainly about the palette, Blashk says. The way film reproduces colour with complexity, especially skin tone, just looks better to me. Plus the highlights, reproduced by the film negative, go on forever. So it helps when you're shooting long oneers. And this film has tons of long one shots, which travel around someone, follow someone through, go around staircases, go into rooms and around corridors, tons of it, and then go overhead and come back round again. So nobody means go on for it. So it helps when you're shooting long oneers and you want to contain your highlights. I would have been in trouble if we'd shot those sequences digitally, because there have been many arguments I've seen on forums about like, well, they shouldn't have shot it digitally, they shouldn't have film, it looks shit on film, it's all black and white. It's not black and white, it's desaturated. When colour is there, but when the colour is not in your face. And it's kind of bizarre because Nosferatu, the original 1922, has various colour tints. It's not black and white. It's green, it's pink, it's blue, it's lilac, it's yellowy, it's sepia tint. It has different scenes have different colour tints to them, which make it look quite special. This film is very artificially monochromatic, but in a great way. No, it look, you know, I've dissed the film for many different other reasons, but the film looks incredible. It's a delight. It's just to sit there with the visuals soaking over you. It's very monochromatic, but you have as he says, the highlights, the detail is there, the shadow, the depth of shadow. There's things in the shadow moving around. Shadows, we'll come on to that. It's all there. It's visually it's striking. Aesthetically, it's gorgeous. The composition is outstanding. The lighting is outstanding. The camera work, the way it moves over and around and through people, it's just ravishing. I just wish that what he was actually capturing was a little bit more interesting and a bit more exciting. But it ain't. The shadow play. Okay, Orlock in 1922. All the shadow play and all that, clutching Ellen's heart, like that, and all this stuff. Everything was going on. And then, of course, you had it with Bram Stoker's Dracula. The shadow would move across this way, and you'd be watching it, and then suddenly you went, oh, he's right here with his big kabuki fucking hairdo and his kimono on. But it worked, and lots of whistling, sort of, you know, the shadow would move and the door would shut behind, and yet he's still right there, and then the shadow would go out. It's just clever stuff. Now in this movie, they do it a lot. It plays a lot on the shadows, and the shadows from Nosferatu are iconic. Now Eggers does not copy any from the original movie, which I really thought they would do. But you've got this great sort of use of shadow and interplay of, like, what is it now? He's coming for a Hutter, I think the final night in the castle, and Hutter is like, oh my god, you know, he's like panicking because he's coming towards him, and in one take he's coming, Nosferatu's coming towards him, Orlock's coming towards him, and he turns around and he becomes like frozen, and then turns around, and then it's all in one take. He's come towards him, he turns around in one take, walks through, opens the door, and Orlock's down the corridor. So it was just the impression of Orlock being there to make him, you know, hypnotise him, make him open the door to let him in, let the right one in, you know. But the camera, the way it moves, is just so fluid and unbroken. You're like, oh wow. And there's many, many more moments like that. I mean, just up the spiral stone staircase when he first gets to Castle Orlock, and Orlock's in front berating him for being late and all that, like, and you're going up and the camera's just following, and it's in front of Orlock, and then it comes behind and it goes to Hutter, who's right behind Orlock, and he gets up and like, Orlock's not there anymore, and you enter into all in one take, you enter a huge sort of banquet room, and Orlock's way over there. You're like, hey, that was good. I like that. I'm liking this. And then there's loads of other little trick shots. I think I may have said before, you could be sitting down and the Orlock's on one side, and the camera will move a different way, and sort of slowly, it's not obvious when you think about it, slowly, without any trickery, just pan round. I'll stop interrupting now. Pan round and round, and Orlock's, or whoever has suddenly gone under the table or scurried round. Get the other side now, get the other side. And he's on way over the side, and they go, wow, how'd they get over there? It's it's clever. It's cinema magic, sleight of hand. That's all it is. Smoke and mirrors, folks. Smoke and mirrors. You can tell I've been yakking for too long, so I'm coughing now. I've gone dead dry. But it's okay, because, you know, I've got another one of these. Cheers, y'all. So, in all the 4 movies that Robert Eggers has made, where's this figure for me? the film that I Eggers, Nosferatu, come on, come on, bring home the bacon, come on, do it. Didn't do it, did not do it. The Witch is better than this. That's his first full-length movie. The Lighthouse is infinitely better than this. Now, I know you will probably massively disagree. This is a film, which is linear. It's the most accessible film that Eggers has made by far. It tells a story and you know what's going on. I just don't think it's very exciting. It doesn't do anything different with the material that it should have done. So where would I go with it then? The Witch is great. Lighthouse is better. The Northman has grown on me a lot. But I would still say Lighthouse, Witch, Northman, this. So yeah, his fourth movie, and it's his least best. You know, it's the least of his movies so far. But it's telling that it's not one that he wrote himself. Well, he did the screenplay for this, but it's not his own original story. And I think that's important. If you are making a love letter to one of your favourite films, which this is, Dracula the story, Dracula all its iterations, but Nosferatu especially, is that Eggers has been driven by that. It got him into making movies in the first place, and I get that, I totally understand that. But like I've said many times, even recently, about Peter Jackson making King Kong. King Kong was his favourite movie. It's what got him making short movies, then independent movies, then big budget. Lord of the Rings, for God's sake. Can't get bigger than that, can you? Then he made King Kong. And his interpretation of King Kong, which I love, I want to love, I did love. But even when I first saw it, I thought, even its theatrical cut, not the extended cut, I was like, oh my God, where are you going to go with this? This is, you've dragged every single scene out to beyond its elastic limit. And like, it's because you're too in love with it and it's what you want to see. You're not making a film that other people might want to see and enjoy. It's not the interpretation that they're perhaps interested in. You know, you can't knock anyone's artistic vision. You can't knock that. You can knock the end result, but, and again, Eggers has gone, he stretched out a film which didn't have a lot really in there. Subtext is all there. That's the thing about Nosferatu, the open to interpretation to a lot of it. Well, what Eggers has done here is stretched out so much of it. He's explained some of the subtext a little bit, but he's also, by doing so, he's opened doors to like bits which don't make any sense. It's so ridiculous that she opened the door to Orlock to come to her, you know, decades later. It just doesn't fucking make any sense. He's a Carpathian undead count. Why the hell is he going to come to Visberg to see this bitch? You know, he looks like Johnny Depp. What the? I sincerely do not get that at all. In the original, he wants to go there, but not because of her. He sees her picture and he's interested in her picture from Thomas Hutter. And where's going to go with that? And when he puts the moves, he's gonna really do in her husband. She has a premonition and she sees it in a vision and she shouts out, and that awakens. Because he's seen the picture of her, he's going to go there. A connection is made between them. An unspoken covenant is made. A spectral covenant is made. And he doesn't kill Hutter. He withdraws because she has somehow summoned him. Now that's what that's in the original movie. Eggers has taken that as being his catalyst to make this movie. Well, why would that happen? Well, they must have a connection from years before. Why? It doesn't work. For me, it doesn't work. folks, this is like 2 hours now, and on a film which lasts 2 hours 10 minutes, so we'll do that. We'll match that. And I've got look at the effects I've got going on here. If you can see in the shadows. I spent way over a year, 18 months more, knowing this film was coming out and doing videos on it and looking forward to it. And then in the big sort of build-up, once, because this, let's get on this. The fucking bullshit critics that came out. It's rhapsodic, it's bloodthirsty, it's so grandiose, it's gothic, it's gorgeous, it's brilliant, it's a masterpiece. Oscar, fucking wankers, the lot of you. You either haven't seen a horror film before, or you certainly fucking haven't seen Nosferatu or any version of it beforehand. You're talking out your arse, massively arse. It should have been like, gorgeous, but a snooze fest. Tries, but fails. Visually stunning, but fucking full of arse and boring. You know, that's strove to be something new and yet delivered nothing we hadn't seen before. Big build-up, no payoff. You know, should have all these should have been the fucking slogans, because that's what this film is. Big build-up, zero fucking payoff. Ultimately does nothing different. If you're going to remake a classic film, which has been done a couple of times, well, actually more than that. It's been done quite a few times. There's a lot more versions of Nosferatu than you think there are. Now, and that's not the Dracula versions as well. You know, the original proper Dracula versions. So you think this day and age, as a visionary director, filmmaker like Robert Eggers could come up with something which is going to like, wow, this is different. This is going to be, because he is assuming that you know what the movie is. He must be. He's so well versed in it that he's fucking just done the same film all over again with a bit more sensuality to it, a bit more. I'm not sure why he did that, but again, maybe the old vampiric sort of thing. But who knows? It doesn't make it a better film though. A better version. In fact, it doesn't at all. But to all the people who come into it, these industry, it got shown at fucking film festivals and advanced screenings fucking months and months ago, and they were giving it loads. So the hype was through the fucking roof. Next time, folks, that happens, and it happens a lot, and another thing to look out for: merchandise in cinemas in America. All the sarcophagus, fucking, you know, talon draped popcorn buckets, and all these caskets and coffins and things. All these fantastic, which you could, if you get in there, you can get one of these on the fucking casket under your arm. If they're going to fork out that amount of money in marketing in cinema, it's a bad time. It's a bad sign. They're doing that. They're massively promoting something. So you're going to go, I got this. And then you sit there and you watch, you go, I'm bored shitless watching this. I've got this fucking big coffin under my arm. Beware something one day, because some knobhead's going to buy it on eBay. Yeah, well, some knobhead will. Hello. No, I ain't doing it. It's coming out extended. Now, if they extend the schooner, it's not named in this. If they extend that sequence, if they give a bit more to Castle Orlock, if they give a bit more to the gypsy stuff, which I think was brilliant, and really enjoyed all that. I enjoyed the first hour extensively because I thought it was all going somewhere, and it didn't. It didn't. It faltered and fell and stumbled and tried to get up and then fell over again and then tumbled down the stairs and did ash on the stairs, some loose stones, and tumbled and then never got up again. But I've said to a lot of people, I'll never watch the second hour again. Well, I'm going to have to, because when the extended cut comes out, I'm going to want to see that version, to see what he adds or what he took out in the first place. It could change the pace of things. So people still like the pacing's a bit off. I don't really find the pacing off. That sounds odd, I know. The first hour was like exciting, but it was slow burn. And I thought, well, you slow burn, but you're gonna rise to like a lot of stuff's gonna happen, and then nothing happens. The pace doesn't alter. The pace is still constant. It's just it doesn't add anything new. When one of your secondary characters, Simon McBurney, as Herr Knock, I don't know why they do that. Knock. I don't know. But anyway, the Herr Knock actually does raise the bar, but then he's disposed of. So, he's in there. Oh, boosh, fucking great. That's it. So he's been the only guy who's done any damage really, and most of that's been off screen. But you know what he's been doing. And you got our boy here. I'm pointing to him now. This fucking, the misplaced czar. Look at the tash on him. That's how he looks. That is how he looks in the movie. And I did that within a couple of seconds, So Skarsgård says like, I never want to play anything this dark ever again. Well, in this year he's had The Crow, darker than the bat, shitter than the stinkiest shit you ever fucking expunged, which was an absolute tear of a movie, and he knows it as well. He said like, look, I don't want to ever play anything as dark as this again, and I get that. He inhabited the character and looked the part and said all nasty things and did rather nasty, salacious things. You want him to be ripping throats out and like biting people's heads off. That's what you should have got. This film doesn't need to be a body count movie. It never was. The bubonic plague takes care of fucking thousands of people, like, which he brought in. He's pestilence. Let's not forget that. But in the last few years we've had what's it called? Well, Renfield with Nicholas Hoult again. Abigail, is it Abigail? The vampire one. I've reviewed that as well. Pure bloodfest, and it delivered. You've had gory vampire movies, 30 Days of Night. You've had all that, which 30 Days of Night is genuinely terrifying and really it brings a whole new slant on vampire movies. You're going back here to a basic classic, which is a uncopyrighted rip-off of Dracula, but it's its own classic in its own right. If you're going to do that, you need to do something for this day and age, which is a bit more solid, a bit more, I don't know, a few more bodies, a few more throat rippings, just a bit more. And it ends so anticlimactic. It's just, you're like, really? And there's no post-credit thing, so don't worry. He wouldn't do that anyway, but there's nothing there like that. Don't even think about it. Willem Dafoe. Love Willem Dafoe, but he doesn't do a great deal in this. He either needed to be in it more, or literally elevate everything he does do in it to almost Anthony Hopkins Van Helsing style, because that would have helped. You go back to 1931 Todd Browning's Dracula, and you've got what's his name, Edward Van Sloan playing Van Helsing, and although he's kind of like, he's very staid and theatrical, but he's good. When he realizes there's no reflection, and he's like, with Dracula, Bela Lugosi, he's like, there's more in that moment and his expression than anything that Willem Dafoe does with his wild gargoyle face. in this, and that's what's wrong. There's ample opportunity for this to go further, and it doesn't do it. It doesn't reach too far, or if it does, if it doesn't manage it, it's grasping and clasping and not getting there. Score's great though. Robin Carolan, I've reviewed the score already, so I'm not going to go into that now. You've been hearing it throughout this. The score is great, and it does complement the movie. I've said it was great. I enjoyed it all right. Okay then, you know. I love your score. My forefathers love your score as well. Oh, no. And I am sick of drinking this Budweiser. I want whiskey. Right, folks, there you go. That's a massive spoiler-rife review of Nosferatu. I did promise it. You did get it. If you're still here, hey, good luck to you. What's next? I don't know. Another bottle of Bud. Right, folks, I have been always Shabby Kilt-Man. Please, in the meantime, and as ever, let's just destroy new horror movies for the sake of it. In between time, I don't mean that for a second. I want these films to work. I so wanted to love this movie, and I so didn't. It's wrong, isn't it? The fact that my son, who's a massive Robert Eggers fan, came out underwhelmed and disappointed, and I was like, oh shit. I felt sorry for him. I did. I felt sorry for him because I knew he was so, you know, this is going to be big, this is going to be epic, it's going to be awesome, and it so wasn't on any of those, you know, criteria. And we watched the original last night. We're going to watch the Klaus Kinski one after I do this now. We're going to watch the Klaus Kinski one. I did. Now, whoa, you know, hey, yo, motherfucker, you know. Next thing I'll be firing like Uzis sideways or Berettas like that. Don't ever do that, by the way. Don't ever do that. You ever got a gun in your hand and don't ever fire it like that? You can't see what you're shooting at. You cannot. Your eyes don't, unless you're doing that as well, your eyes don't see what's going on. And when you put the stakes in someone's heart, you know, fucking put the stake in the heart, you know. Why, if you're a vampire, have a fucking pickaxe right next to your casket and invite strangers into your castle? They're going to some point find it and go, oh, I'm going to fucking try it. Because one of them one day will get it through. Boosh! You know. Stupid. Just stupid. Right, folks, please be happy, be healthy. And if your boss sends you on it's just 6 weeks out. You're going, it's a lovely, lovely trip for you. Trains, planes, trains, automobiles, carriages, the Borgo Pass. It's idyllic. You'll love it. He's very eccentric, you know. Some strange ways, but you know, just get to sign the documentation and your promotion is sealed. Fuck that.